is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Florida.
On a Saturday afternoon in Washington, D.C., the Marlins and the Nationals with just 2 days left in the regular season. And last night, the Marlins beat the Nationals. The Racing Presidents are here. They're all lined up. Al Leiter is here as well, and he's ready to go. Hi, everybody. Rich Welts along with Al Leiter. Let's talk pitching. Let's get right into it. I think the Marlins, over the last 2 weeks, wanted to get Wei-Yin Chen back into the rotation, wanted to see what he was throwing like if he felt good. What do you expect in this ball game?
There's no question about it. Wei-Yin Chen to be able to come back and build off of his last 2 starts, right? After the elbow injury and the DL, watching Wei-Yin Chen against the Braves, fastball slider, didn't walk anybody. For me, it's about him really knowing the quadrants of the strike zone. And I like his slider, like to see more of a 3-pitch pitcher kind of scenario. But I think to go in the winter, for Wei-Yin Chen to have a good start today is important for he and the Marlins.
Last night, the lefty bats were big for the Marlins. Christian Yelich and Justin Bourne. They get to face a right-hander, albeit a pretty good one. A guy they've faced a lot this year and a guy they've hit a lot this year in Tanner Roark.
They did, Rich. Tanner Roark, I'll tell you what, I like this guy a lot. You talk about just a guy that's going to be aggressive, pound the zone, throw strikes. You see his numbers there against the Marlins, 1-4. Now, a little deceiving. His last start, he actually pitched very well, ended up losing. There was a couple starts early in the year, one game where he gave up 7 runs. I like him a lot. I think sitting behind Scherzer is really where he's going to sit for this rotation with Strasburg being out.
Marlins still have hopes for a winning season. They have to win today. They have to win tomorrow. The Nationals are trying to lock down home field in the first round of the postseason in the Division Series. On a Saturday afternoon, we got baseball in D.C. Marlins Baseball, Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Ram. Get power you can depend on at Ram Power Days. By Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Today we're in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Marlins and Nationals ready to roll on a gray day in D.C. Marlins lineup brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine. Justin Bour's been swinging it well, 9 of his last 13. Got Derek Dietrich in the leadoff spot, Miguel Rojas at short, Christian Yelich in center, Jeff Francoeur right, Chris Johnson to start at third. Destin Hood is in left, Jeff Mathis behind the plate, and Wei-Yin Chen is on the mound.
There's Tanner Roark, the 29-year-old right-hander. Last few years been very good. 2008 Texas Rangers, 25th round out of University of Illinois. Impressive numbers this year. The 32 starts, you see 33 games, 15-10. Very good, 2.86 ERA. How about the 69 walks, 204 third innings? Impressive all the way around. This guy's been one of their better consistent starters all year.
Derek Dietrich, who really flourished in the leadoff spot in the absence of D. Gordon through the heart of the season, gets the start and he leads it off. And Roark with a fastball misses away. Tanner Roark is 29 out of Wilmington, Illinois. One and one. He's not a guy that overpowers you, Roark, but man, can he pitch to a 2.86 ERA this year. Dietrich lifts that one down the line, and a nice basket catch by Anthony Rendon. That's a tough play because of the shift. Rendon was off the line all by himself on that left side.
Well, looks like a little corner end zone pass, right? Coming into the corner. Rendon, as you just said, that shift went a long way. Nice job.
So Dietrich fouls out. Miguel Rojas at short. A lot of the regulars are out today for the Marlins. Guys getting starts include Dietrich, Rojas, Francoeur, Johnson, Hood, and Mathis. Expect a few more regulars in there tomorrow in the finale of the season. Rojas came in last night's ball game and doubled down the left field line. Roark's fastball misses up.
Solid job by Miguel Rojas all year. You know, those utility players to stay fresh, get as much hitting as you can and extra BP and stay sharp. He can play anywhere in the field. I'm impressed with Miguel Rojas.
Count 1-2. Christian Yelich is in the 3 spot today, and he's on deck.
Let's take a look at old Mr. Tanner Roark. I said from Illinois, 2008, 25th rounder. Well, here it is right here. He's got above average pitches. All 5 of them actually are above average, but that 2-seamer we're going to see a lot, especially in on the lefty, away on the righty. He's got a good slider, good change, curveball, all of them plus, especially his changeup. All he does is win, win, win. Remember 2 years ago, after winning 15-10 in 2014, they put him in the pen. Didn't say anything, just, okay, I get it. Doug Fister comes in. He's going to be the 5th starter. We got a good rotation. Wasn't as good. And now this year, the 2.86 and the 15-10 record. You see what he's done. 4th season, 80 starts. Very impressive, 41-28. And Bulldog mentality. Just watch the way he behaves. He's not throwing 95 to 100. He's going to be right at 91 miles an hour, and he attacks the zone. He's had a quality year.
Feeding fastballs, high fastballs to Rojas right now. Miguel fouls that one back. It's 1-2. Well, last night's ball game, the Marlins jumped to a 4-0 lead. Nationals came back to tie it, and then the Marlins late in the game picked up 3 runs. Christian Yelich solo homer, RBI single by Marcell Ozuna, all big hits late. Rojas takes away. And it was a short start from Andrew Cashner last night, and a Everybody over the top rope after that. Dunn, Ellington, Rodney, Phelps, Ramos. Marlins bullpen worked a lot last night. Rojas reaches out and shoots it foul into the seats.
Yeah, what a job that bullpen did last night. We just showed Cashner's numbers, not great. The 4 innings, 7 hits. But then Dunn did a nice job. I mean, it was just scoreless all the way down. No hits. And then Phelps punched out the side along with Ramos. Well done by the pen.
And the Marlins knocked A.J. Cole out pretty early, so there were a lot of relief pitchers working here last night in the rain. Rojas won't go away. Roark is moving that fastball up, moving it in, moving it out. And right now Rojas, there's the scatter shot Fox tracks.
Is it 2 in the strike zone? Borderline, yeah. You got number 3's right there.
Yeah, but there's only 2 balls, and Rojas finds one he likes and cues it up the middle for a base hit with a lot of spin on it. That was an adventurous at bat for Miguel Rojas. All right, the Washington Nationals present this defense. Brought to you by Southwest. Taylor, Turner, Harper, Rendon. Gotta like the beard on Espinoza there, Al. Defoe, Zimmerman, and Severino behind the plate. No, you don't. Every year he does that. Shows up for photo day looking like that. After photo day, shaves it off. Much to the delight of everybody around baseball.
Oh, that's a much better look right there.
So the Mets clinch the top wild card spot. A 5-3 win, and on Wednesday it'll either be San Francisco or St. Louis in New York for that National League wild card.
So now it's got to be down to St. Louis. Where are they to possibly tie San Francisco? 1 game behind.
Yeah, the Cardinals are going to need help from the Dodgers. You see the Cardinals up 1 over the Pirates, that in St. Louis, and that's top 9 with 2 outs right now. So they're an out away from finishing off the Pirates. And that obviously would put pressure on the Giants.
Who was it? It was Kershaw to be announced. Who's pitching for the Giants?
That game has just started in San Francisco. Bottom 1 scoreless Dodgers and Gigantes. Ty Block is going to go for the Giants.
Ty Block. He's got 3 games this year, 1 as a starter. Pitching the biggest game.
Yeah, that's it. Yelich fouls it off. All right, if you're following the year of Christian Yelich, it's been a terrific ride. He hit his 21st homer last night. He knocked in 2, so he's 3 shy of 100 RBIs. As well, the 2 hits last night upped his average to 294. Now you see that number there last season at 292. Remember we told you he got to that last weekend hitting at 290 and ripped off 8 hits in 9 at bats to get himself up over 300.
He was what, doubleheader you said in Philly? 5 for 5 in 1 game?
Doubleheader, 5 for 5, 3 for 4 in the other. And he came into the Sunday game hitting 302, went 0 for 2 to start, and then came out of the game and finished at 300. Runner goes, Yelich swings, pops it up. Wind is holding it up. Rendon's over for a look, and he reaches. It's off his glove, and he did not make the catch.
Oh, I thought that ball was definitely pushing to go foul. Rendon again went a long way. I thought this was way in there. See, he checks where he is. Home park advantage, knows the angles. Yeah, he didn't get a whole lot of help from Harper there.
No, Bryce did not.
He's backing away. Get him. Well, good break for the Marlins. Sorry, man.
Sorry. I'll pick you up later. Full count with Yelich. Let's see if Rojas is rolling again from first. On the move. Yelich takes ball 4. And the Marlins have runners first and second.
That's a good at bat right there. I mean, Miguel Rojas fighting a bunch, pitches off, gets a base hit up the middle. And here comes Paul Bunyan.
With his axe.
What a time since him coming back from his ankle injury, huh?
Yeah, he's 9 for his last 13 with a couple of doubles and a triple. Bohr last night ripped off 3 hits, including a double, and both of his singles drove in runs. And he takes in Don Manley talking about Bohr on Marlins Live. All the things he likes about it. His swing's not that long. It's nice and clean. Doesn't strike out a lot. Bohr hooks that one to first. Zimmerman sidearms it to second. The relay is in time. And the Nationals turn a double play, and Miami's first ends quickly. Underway and scoreless in D.C. At the park, pets at the park. Very nice. Nationals lineup brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine. Lake Worth's own Trey Turner's having a terrific start to his major league career. Michael Taylor, Fort Lauderdale. Bryce Harper in right. Anthony Rendon at third. Ryan Zimmerman, Wilmer Defoe. Pedro Severino is the catcher. Danny Espinosa plays short. Tanner Roark will hit ninth. Wei Chen goes after Trey Turner. Chen's third start since coming off the disabled list. Couple of 4-inning efforts.
A couple starts after the elbow DL stint. I start pretty good. I know they're building up his pitch count. He's only been in the 60+ pitch count.
Turner knocks one into center field, and that's a hit.
Oh, he's impressive. This guy right here. He's got to win it. No, he does not. What am I talking about? We got the guy in the Dodgers. He's going to get some. Will we get some votes, Trey Turner?
Yeah, he'll get some love. He should. I mean, look, he's had impact, that's for sure. Anytime you arrive in the middle of the year and you swipe 31 bags, hit a dozen homers.
340 now, probably, right? 339 coming into that hit.
And I think importantly, Al, the role that he's played here, they needed somebody in the leadoff spot. They needed somebody in center field. He's a middle infielder, and he has filled both roles, and he's done it well.
He has helped this lineup in a big way to be able to solidify the leadoff since he's been up. You know, Harper has not been the same. I know Espinosa has the home runs, but he's batting a little over 200. Worth at 244. Now Wilson Ramos going down. Well, Trey Turner's been a huge difference for them offensively, no question.
Worth the day off. Taylor takes his spot. And Chen a throw over to first. This is an interesting duel here. You've got Turner, the burner, who's got 31 bags. And you've got Chen, who's given up 1 stolen base on 1 attempt all year. Up the middle, Chen knocks it down, picks it up, goes to first, and gets the out. No panic from Wei-Yin Chen. But Turner resides at second. Mathis out for a visit. Miami defensively brought to you by Southwest. Destin Hood gets a start in left. Yelich is in center. Frenchie's in right. Jeff Francoeur. Justin Bohr, Chris Johnson, corner infielders. Miguel Rojas, Derek Dietrich, middle infielders. And Jeff Mathis behind home plate. All right, so the Mets have won. They've clinched the home field in the National League wild card. And the Cardinals have won, putting pressure on the Giants, who are just underway against the Dodgers. If the Giants should lose, it would be San Francisco and St. Louis tied for the second wild card going into the last day.
Is that the way they drew it up? With the additional wild card? You betcha.
And that Giant Dodger game is top second and scoreless. Turner chased back on the throw. And Bryce Harper arrives at the plate. Al Leiter, what did you see from Bryce Harper in his at-bats last night?
Well, I saw a guy who punched out 4 times and just very unlike. You see the 242 batting average. This is a reigning National League MVP. And his numbers just aren't even close.
Into center field, Turner hesitated. Yelich has it. Up with it. Turner comes home. Throw is cut. And the Nationals have a 1-0 lead.
Well, we know his skill, of course. This kid's one of the best in the game and is going to be. Certainly has an MVP on his mantle. Looking like it just shows you when guys who had his thumb injured in a game in Pittsburgh about 5 days ago. This is a slider, middle of the plate. You see the location. Again, missing location. That's a strike. But look where Mathis wants that ball and has to pull it back over the plate. Harper not doing a whole lot, just thinking center of the field. That's a mistake location. There's a difference, Rich, when you look at Chen. His walk totals are down. His walks per 9 are good. But to command pitches, especially for a guy like a Bryce Harper. I don't care if he's cold or not. He punched out 4 times last night and hasn't been swinging the bat well.
So what I hear you saying is he's a control pitcher without command.
Yes, there is a difference between control and commanding your pitches. You know, often we'll say, no, he's got good command. Well, what is that? Command is to find the glove for one, hit your spots, and command your pitches. And that's not just spotting a fastball. That's being able to command your pitches. A slider is a pitch that you could command. I always thought a curveball, you have a strike curveball and then a curveball to expand. It was down in the zone. But if you watch here, I think just for the purpose of Wei-Yin Chen, I know he went 60+ pitches in his last start. You know, how often do we see Jeff Mathis set up and move his glove significantly? Because that's where Chen is now. You know, he's not overpowering. He's right there, right at about 90, 91. Is it plenty? Yes. We just watched Tanner Roark. You know, he did throw a couple in that 92, 93 range. So, you know, so far, you know, find the glove. So command. And he's got 23 walks. Chen does in 118 innings. That's good. There's a difference, Rich, between guys being able to throw strikes and quality strikes. And when you start breaking it down to quadrants and hitting the glove, now you got something.
Anthony Rendon homered last night. He was 1 for 4. Harper at first, and Rendon shoots it, fouling into the seats.
Oh, the good pitch right there. Now these are quality pitches right here, leading up to this 6th pitch in this at bat. And that's it. I mean, we watch it night in, night out. You know, the pitcher on the mound, do they change speeds? Do they command their pitches? And what kind of stuff do they have? Will determine whether it's a low-scoring game or not.
Chen was on the glove with that pitch. And it's 2-2. The weather outside is
delightful.
Yeah, well, 66 degrees. The humidity, 96%.
Oh, and you got a coat on.
I know. In preparation. It's a little colder. Little chopper. Dietrich spins, gets the out at short. And Harper is retired. Rendon ends up at first. And it's out number 2.
I'll tell you what, Chen makes nice pitches to Anthony Rendon. You see making sure absolutely Rojas got that ball. Clearly a force play. Dietrich went far enough to his left. Get the force out at second, keep him out of scoring position.
So Zimmerman getting a start, and much like with Harper, for Zimmerman it's not been a great year. And the Nationals are hopeful that when they get into that postseason series with the Dodgers, odds are it'll be here to begin with, and home fields in the 5-game series for the Dusty Baker and the Nationals. But the hope is that Harper heats up, that Zimmerman can produce. Zimmerman drives it right center. Yelich is around it and has it, and the inning is over. But the Nationals get a run on Wei-Yin Chen. It's 1-0. Is the presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. Who doesn't like dogs at the ballpark? Maybe cats.
Somebody who doesn't like a dog.
Yeah, I guess.
Is it dogs at the park today?
Yeah.
Or is it like a daily nightly thing?
Today is a special day here.
Oh.
Pets at the park. Dogs are here. Jeff Francoeur takes outside, and it's 2-0. Francoeur, Chris Johnson, and Destin Hood for Miami. Francoeur hits it hard to short. Kick there by Espinoza, and he's not going to get Francoeur. Trying to backhand it, and it popped right out of his glove. And Espinoza is charged with an error.
Well, that's why you never know. This is a hard smash to a major league shortstop. 1-2. Backhand, as you said, Rich. And chose not to throw. Hustle out of the box. You never know. We saw it last night. Was that Dietrich with the pop-up?
It was.
They busted out. He was at second base. He ended up scoring. In that big inning, the third inning, where they scored 2.
Chris Johnson takes a fastball for a strike. Johnson had a pinch hit last night. Johnson getting the start at third base. Martin Prado has the day off, and that's because tomorrow.
Oh, I think because of that.
Well, that helps. But tomorrow, it's double duty for Martin Prado. He's going to play third base, and he's going to manage the team.
What? Little Frank Robinson?
Yes. Martin Prado will be a player manager tomorrow. He's going to handle all the pitching changes and all of that. Breaking ball. Johnson hits it center and hits it well. Turner on the run with his back turn hauls it in.
Boy, for Chris Johnson, you couldn't hit it in a worse spot. This here at Nationals Park, there's literally a triangle dead center that points out, and then you got Trey Turner, one of the faster major leaguers, outfielders. You see here once he tracked it. It's a long way. Last night we had a lot of nasty weather and wind, and there was a lot of long fly balls left center, right center.
Just a gentle breeze this afternoon. There was no telling what tonight will bring. Hood getting a start. And he'd love to finish his year with a couple of base hits. 3 for 17 in his first taste of the big leagues. And Roark going right after him is out in front 0-2. A lot of important games in the major league landscape. A few of them have already finished. Hood lines it into right center field. That's a base hit. Francoeur will stop there. And Destin Hood, the rookie, has hit number 4 on the season. And here comes Jeff Mathis.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting here. Good kid, Dustin Hood. You like to see guys like this getting an opportunity, September call up, a chance to prove something at the major league level, something for everybody at the staff to remember. Good things coming next year in Jupiter.
Mathis swings at a slider, and it's 0-1. JT Realmuto, the day off so far, he's hitting at 303. Count 0-2.
Yeah, Mathis getting a couple sliders from Roark. And start a whole lot. You talk about the year. JT Realmuto coming out party, legitimate. With better behind the plate, 300+ hitter. Tough to get in any rhythm as a backup catcher, especially when you have your go-to everyday player, one of the best hitting catchers in baseball.
Fastball there, and Mathis puts it up in the air. Espinosa makes the catch. Infield fly is called. And here comes Wei-Yin Chen. And if you were with us for Marlins Live, you heard Carl Pavano talk about Chen's plans today to use Jose Fernandez's bat. Chen is 0 for his career. He does not have a major league hit. And he figured, you know what? Maybe Jose's bat. Those two guys spent when they weren't starting, they were side by side, and especially late in ball games. Even if one of them had started, they usually were together on that top step down the third base line at Marlins Park.
Look out. I'm going to pop that in the Nats dugout.
You see the season numbers, 0 for 42. That one fouled out of play. His bats are must. Oh, you know what? He's got his name on it. So maybe he's not brought it out yet. It's must look. This is must-see TV for everybody in the dugout. I mean, this is like when you hit, right?
Yeah, I was.
But you were not 0 for 42. You were close.
I wasn't very good, Rich, but thank you.
Chen fouls that one back. Look at it. Ozuna, Stanton, Gordon, Kohler, even Frank Coor out at second base is enjoying this. He was right. Anytime you foul it straight back out, you're right on it. Breaking ball, and he pops this one up. It's Roark who calls and makes the catch. I think he better go to Jose's bat next at bat. 1-0 Nationals. Outliner, let's do some T-Mobiling, shall we?
Yes.
By you, Darvish. Texas is going to be tough to beat. They've got home field advantage in the American League. Miggy, that's what Superstars does. Tigers are a half game out of the AL wild card. James Loney. Love that photoshopped picture of James Loney. That was, I think, 3 teams ago. You slap a Mets hat on him and a sharp-looking Dickie underneath that jersey, and he's ready to go. You know, that dog actually has a ticket. World Baseball Classic coming to Marlins Park March 9th through the 12th, 2017. Team USA, Team Canada, Colombia, and the star-studded Dominican Republic will square off. WorldBaseballClassic.com for more info. First pitch swinging, Wilmer Defoe. Destin Hood finds the warning track and then finds the ball. And Defoe is out number 1. Pedro Severino and now Danny Espinosa also due up. Severino's importance all of a sudden rose in stature.
No question about it, right? With Wilson Ramos going down now, he's the backup catcher to Jose Lobaton.
And obviously the Nationals going to need both those guys. Lobaton very good defensively. Severino very athletic. Dominican backstop. Not a real source of power in his minor league years. Best defensive catcher in the National system for many years. Dietrich approaches, bare hands. Wow, that's not an easy play. Hit that hard to barehand it, get it cleanly, and get it to first.
All in one motion too. I know that Severino's not the fastest guy in the Nats, but right there, head down, he chose to barehand it. It was closer than I thought. Nice play by Dietrich. He's fired up, isn't he, Derek?
He is. Very emotional player. Here's Espinosa in the 8th spot. He was 0 for 4 last night.
Switch hitting Espinosa. 23 home runs on the year. You see the numbers.
Low average. You talked about the strikeouts last night. Of course, he had to slide over to replace Ian Desmond, whom the Nationals did not re-sign. Espinosa on an 0 for 22. Desmond reinventing himself in the outfield for the Texas Rangers and doing quite well.
Only 23 home runs, career high for Espinosa. He had 21 back in 2011.
Lines that one into left field for a hit.
That's that slider that Chen throws. He's mostly fastball, slider, and I said, you know, that slider at times gets a little bit flat. Now watch here. This is an 0-2 count. See where Mathis's glove is, and then it's more middle of the plate. Just got it out a little too far. You see, he was down in the zone, but that's a pitch that you bury to the right-hander, especially for a guy like Espinosa who strikes out a lot. Batting right-handed, 197 this year. He's only 205 on the year. Mistake location-wise.
Here's Roark now.
You know, as small as that is, it's a base hit. See how this plays out. But anytime you got that, you have the pitcher on deck, it's always, you know, turn the lineup over, let a pitcher lead off the inning. You know, for Espinosa to get on there, now you have a pitcher making most likely the last out.
Chen gets a strike, 0-2.
Especially when you face the 8th hitter, Rich. You know that. It's a pitcher. You got the pitcher on deck. Good. 0-2 count. Going to bury a couple here. A guy that strikes out a lot. Next inning, I got the pitcher leading off.
And it's not the American League where you're facing the shortstop or the second baseman or somebody like that.
A few years ago, and I know I'm going way back, but when Robinson Cano was batting 9th, and I think he had 24 or 25 home runs as your 9th hitter.
Robinson Cano hit a couple big homers last night for Seattle, and they're still alive in the wild card run. 1 game out going into this last weekend. 2 games left, 2 days left. Roark lifts it foul and out of play. Seattle comes to play tonight against Oakland at 86-74. The ghost of the machine, so to speak, in that wild card is Detroit. They have 86 wins, but 73 losses. So they may have to play a makeup game on Monday. 1-2.
Could you imagine that if it plays out that way? They win. They're playing. What's the score? Are they playing right now?
Seattle has yet to start.
Oh, Detroit's got the late game.
Yet Detroit plays tonight against Atlanta. Seattle's a 9 o'clock start Eastern time. And that's at home against Oakland. Tigers have former national Jordan Zimmerman on the mound. Tomorrow is the last game at Turner Field. Toronto at 87 wins is in Boston to take on the Red Sox. Jay Happ goes for win number 21 for Toronto. Chen thought he had a strikeout and walks off the mound.
It's off the plate.
7 he missed.
You know, watching early in this game, I watched Jeff Kellogg, veteran umpire, crew chief of this umpiring staff right here. You see where it is. He locked it up, but Jeff Mathis was off the plate. You don't want to show up an umpire, especially a guy that's been around a long time like Jeff Kellogg. You're not going to get the close pitch.
That one had more of the plate. And remember, it's not necessarily a true center shot here in Washington, D.C., Nationals Park. A true center shot in center field.
You mean our center field shot?
Right, center field. Yeah. It's offset, so it's hard sometimes to tell balls and strikes in and out because you don't have that look right down the chute.
There it is. That's the one right there. I knew it. You look at a guy, you walk off, you show your disgust, now you shake your head. Now it barely got the zone. Now if he didn't react to ball number 7, you know, would Jeff Kellogg have called that? Because it's borderline. We just showed it on the Fox tracks there. This is right down the middle. You got a pitcher up. He pulled it up a little bit, but we've seen that this year, low strikes especially, and you got a pitcher up. Now it crosses the knees. But again, for as much as I used to want to wring an umpire's neck, you stop it, you turn away, you don't let them see it. Because at some point you hope that they give you that close one. As we see there with the number 9, it barely hit the strike zone. But right now, so far, I've seen Tanner Roark as well in his innings at what looked like close pitches. And umpires, you know, just generally speaking, there are some umpires that can't wait to raise their right hand, called strikes, and other guys not. You know, the when in doubt umpire, do you call a strike or a ball? And of course, in this day and age, Rich, and I know you know this, they track all that. You know, home plate umpire ERAs and.
Chen misses low to Trey Turner. So a 2-strike hit to Espinoza with 2 outs, the 8-hitter.
0-2 pitch.
0-2 pitch. And then a walk to Tanner Roark, the Nationals pitcher. So the reward is, here's Trey Turner, who drilled one into center for a hit and scored back in the first.
Back-to-back changeups right there. He pulls the string on Trey Turner. What a nice hitter he's had. See the runners in scoring position. Excellent numbers.
Turner, South Florida guy, Lake Worth. Ended up playing shortstop at North Carolina State.
You know, you talk about the little trades. You know, you highlight the July 31st trade deadline, the big names, but Trey Turner in a 3-way trade, the Nationals gave up Steven Souza with Tampa Bay Rays involved, and here they have what looks like a fine-looking player.
They have what looks like is a player that could be an all-star here for the Nationals in Turner. Now it's dangerous to say, well, if he's done it for half a season, he could do it for a full season. But a 341 average, tops for rookies. It's the highest rookie average since 2001 when Ichiro won the MVP that year and hit a little over 350. 2-2. The other thing this does, Al, is it just chews up the pitch count for Chen, who doesn't have a lot of pitches to use in this ball game. Remember, he's coming back from the disabled list. His 2 starts have been 4 1/3 and 4 innings, 66 and 62 pitches.
It's a fight, it's a battle, it's a grind, and that's exactly what happens, especially when, in this case with Chen coming off the disabled list, and you mentioned the 2 starts that he had in the 60s. You want to finish strong, you want to feel good about, your last start, and, looking into the winter and taking some time off and reflect. And
runners on the move. Turner on a hop. Rojas gets it on to first in time, and Chen gets out of the second. Still shaking his head, still not happy. Oh, wings. Al Leiter, there's lunch. Cities line up. Let's see that Washington Monument, reflection pool, and Jessica Blaylock in that order.
Hey, Rich, you take a look in that Marlins dugout, and you're starting to see some smiles. You're starting to see some laughter. And something else that provided some laughter earlier today, it was rookie dress-up day. Now, the Marlins rookies had to borrow some outfits from the Marlins Energy team that gets the crowd going at Marlins Park. First, they had to make their way through the hotel lobby. Boy, those guys look good, but they didn't get off easy. They had to make a coffee run at the mall that's connected to the hotel. You see Nick Wickren right there. He told me the best part about it was that there were hundreds of people at the mall because they were opening up a Lego store. So the guys didn't get off easy at all. But of course, rookies have to pay their dues in every single sport, and that included the Marlins rookies. But in talking to some other older players in the clubhouse, they said they tried to be as respectful as possible with everything that's gone on this week. But it certainly felt good to have something to laugh about.
It is a baseball tradition. There was that great shot in that montage when we were back home of all the Jose memories of Jose and Christian Yelich, I believe, on the airplane in their rookie dress-up outfits. I believe they were the Clevelander girls. Here's Dietrich. Back to the top of the order for Tanner Roark, and he gets a strike. Counts 1-1. Now the Marlins have had base runners. In fact, they had 2 in the first, but Bohr's double play finished the inning. They had 2 in the second, and Roark pitched out of that. I wonder what Don Mattingly will do tomorrow as Martin Prado runs the team. Maybe play first base.
Will he let him make a lineup? I don't think so.
I think he does. I think he gives him the whole thing. He told me today, he said Prado will be a player manager tomorrow. Does the pitching changes, all that. Pop up. And it's caught by Rendon. It's the second time Dietrich has popped up to Rendon.
I know when Don Mattingly was with the Yankees, Joe Torre did that for years. May or may not. I've gotten it from an idea from Joe, and then he was Joe's bench coach with the Dodgers.
And he said, Mattingly told me something that he did the last 4 years in Los Angeles. And Mattingly's got a bat. You see that?
He's going to hit?
Well, I mean, if Prado's going to manage, maybe take a few hacks.
I think Prado would be a good manager down the road.
Oh,
If he wanted to do it.
I have no doubt. Being a player manager in this day and age is not something that happens. Frank Robinson did it back in Cleveland, right? Mid-70s.
Pete Rose after that.
That's about it. Can you think of anybody else?
Maybe that's it.
Ted Williams, did he? No.
I would expect the last guy to do it was Pete Rose.
Oh yeah, no, you have to go way back. I know since then, that was what, early 80s?
Connie Mack was the guy who used to dress up in the suits, right?
Yeah, with the top hat.
Can you see him as playing third with the suit and the top hat? Player manager?
Joe Torre with the Mets, right? When he was first on. Yeah, that's right. Was it late 70s?
That's why we have a baseball research department.
Yeah, no, he was hired as a player manager.
See, look, now they're already talking about things.
1977, Joe Torre, New York Metropolitans.
Roark misses outside, and Rojas has walked. It gives Yelich an at bat with a runner on. See, I like this. I like the fact that Prado is in Mattingly, because look, Prado plays every day. I mean, if there's one guy that answers the bell, and I'm sure has talked his way back into a lineup more than anybody, it's Prado. He's looking very managerial right now.
Now he's going to put the foot on the top step.
Look, he's got the water bottle in the back pocket. Yelich hooks a ground ball. Defoe's throw is just in time to get him at first.
That's a nice play right there. Ryan Zimmerman went after the ball but stayed down low and knew Wilmer Defoe would get to it. Let's take right here a little topper that sinker down away from Roark, and Zimmerman couldn't get it. He saw quickly he had to get back. Easier for a first baseman to make that play than a pitcher running. Nice play.
Yeah,
I tell you what, if Yelich, he could have done some damage there and take him out. Kind of went around. Not that you want him to do that.
No.
Slowed up.
Here's Justin Bour. And on his way out to the mound is Pedro Severino.
Well, hopefully this isn't a visit on, what sign do you want to use with a runner at second.
It has to be.
You go over this. That's part of the meeting.
I know.
The up and in, down the way. Who are you going to throw breaking balls to? Who do I not throw strikes to? And oh, by the way, first sign after 2. And if I shake, it's the 3rd sign.
I'm with you. And that's why I hope that in the coming years, that's one of the rules they address. You can't have unlimited trips to the mound. Whether you're a catcher, a third baseman, a player manager, or whatever. That brings up a good question, Al.
That's pretty cool right there, Rich.
Yeah, that is.
It's a camaraderie thing, and I know everything that's gone on, and this has been awfully tough for these guys this last week. But to have one of their guys, players, to do the player manager thing last day, it's a team bonder, no doubt about it. And it also, already, not that Martin Prado need to be elevated to that status because he was the team. He is the team leader. To put him, to have that kind of fun for the last game of the year, good for everybody. Shows a lot of respect and what they feel and how they feel about Martin Prado. He's liked across the game everywhere he's been.
And highly respected. Maybe the most respected player in terms of, not in public perception, but just players. Bour's going to be walked intentionally. Here's the thing that I just thought of. If he's the player manager tomorrow and he's at third base, if he walks into the mound to talk to the pitcher, is that a trip to the mound?
I don't know. First of all, do you think he's playing? He's not.
Well, Mattingly said he was going to be playing and managing, but it's up to Prado. I think he's going to manage. Whether he plays and manages, I don't know. Because he wouldn't be standing up next to him right now, right? You can see he's got the managerial.
There
it is. There it is.
That's the spot.
Now all he needs is like one of those quarter zips, right? And a lot of coaches and managers don't have a uniform on under those. They'll just wear the jacket with, the sleeves. Francoeur takes a breaking ball in the outside corner. He didn't like that call. But it was a good one.
And that sweeps across, too, after the two-seam fastball up and in that Frenchie swung through. That pitch had to look a foot outside, but you saw on the Fox tracks it was a strike.
Fastball up. Prado actually, I think, put his foot up on the next step. Look at that. That's very managerial. What a great picture.
Get him a quarter zip. It'd be perfect.
I know. Two balls, 2 strikes. They're talking about umpires and their proclivity to have calls. I think they're talking about that 60 Minutes episode. I don't know if you saw it the other night. There's a 60 Minutes episode about the strike zone and the technology and what some have called robot umpires. And in that St. Louis, Texas World Series, according to a lot of people that analyze the data, there were more calls that went to the home team, especially in games 6 and 7, to St. Louis than to Texas, in borderline calls on balls and strikes.
So it was based on the emotion?
No, based on, I think the feeling is that
You're saying home team.
Home team.
That's what I'm saying.
Generally gets the benefit of the doubt in calls, not consciously by umpires,
right,
but subconsciously.
No, I get it. I there's no doubt that they're human beings. Yeah, they're umpires and they make mistakes, but for the most part, they're awesome. They get way more right. But they got to play into it. A World Series game, Game 6, 7, the fans are going crazy. That borderline pitch that could go either way. Oh, I believe that. And it's not deliberate.
That's a very good piece. You should, if you're interested, Google it, watch it. 60 Minutes last week. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Francoeur strikes out. So the Marlins have had 2 base runners in the first, the second, and the third, but trail in this ball game 1-0. Pacing the dugout, still working on his managerial moves. Like it. So Florida Honda dealers, get you ready for that managerial debut tomorrow. A 2:30 start with Craig Minervini and Carl Pavano. Some postseason predictions, especially coming from Al Leiter. Find out who he likes in the postseason, the American, the National, and of course the World Series. Can the Cubs be derailed? Are the Rangers finally going to break through and win a World Series?
Do you like a baby bear?
Well, we'll see. Remember, they were beaten by the Mets last year in the National League Championship Series. What about the Washington Nationals? Is Max Scherzer the next Madison Bumgarner? Can he dominate the postseason and carry his team to the World Series?
Can Clayton Kershaw?
Game 1 is going to be Kershaw and Scherzer. And I don't know the start time, but I'm guessing it's because they'll play the same day as the Cubs. The Cubs are going to get prime time, and the hitters are going to get Scherzer and Kershaw in twilight, which is no bueno. There are going to be some shadows, I suspect.
0-0, no hitter going into the 6th for both pitchers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's
it'll take like
unfortunate for the hitters, huh?
40 minutes to play the first 6 innings. Michael Taylor with a full count, Wei-Yin Chen. And Taylor gets one into left field for a hit. So good speed on for the Nationals. Legally, Al, we have to say this in every telecast. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Marlins, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form in the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins.
Well, I don't care how good an offense is. You go deep into the playoffs and you may have these playoff series. You got to have at least 2 really good pitchers. And your third starter can't fall off a lot. You mentioned about the Mets series last year with the Cubs. You know, they didn't really have a third starter. There was Arrieta, Lester, and now that's not the case. And Kyle Hendricks, you put him in a hat.
Who gets the ball game 1 for the Cubs?
I want to say it would depend on the matchup, right? So it'll either be, who's it going to be right now? It's either Mets or San Francisco
or St. Louis.
Or St. Louis. So, you know, it'll be a matchup thing between, I think Arrieta has fallen off enough to where it'll either be Hendricks or Lester. That's a heck of a game 3 starter. The reigning Cy Young Award winner in Arrieta.
Taylor, good lead at first, not running. And Harper, who singled to drive in the only run of the game. He's ahead of the count here, 2-1. I think the prevailing thought is that it's Lester and Hendricks, or Hendricks and Lester in 1 and 2, like you noted.
Yeah, Arrieta hasn't been the same. I know he's been wild at times, and just not as good as the other 2. Wow, 2-1 fastball right down the middle at 91.
Joe Madden yesterday actually said, let's take a look at this pitch
right here, Rich. That's it. You can't get any more center cut than that.
She looks like Chen has personalized the writing on his cap with Jose's number. Pitches out. Joe Madden said yesterday he's had the postseason rotation set in his mind for a week, but he wasn't ready to reveal it until he can meet with the front office and the coaching staff.
Ooh. I'll tell you who's boss there, huh?
Yeah, Theo Epstein, Jed Hoyer, and all of the coaches.
How about Theo's deal?
And Harper swings and misses. We apologize for the great audio that we have around home plate.
Well, he just got after it right here. Wei-Yin Chen just said, here it is, hit it, big boy. After 2-1 heater right by him, and then he missed away. Elevated upstairs. He's got the uppercut swing, and, you know, watching Bryce Harper this series, you know, really a significant, I know he's got the uppercut swing, and I know, you know, he connects down somewhere downstairs. I mean, great bat speed. And at 92 miles an hour, just blew it by him.
For a guy like Chen, velocity, 92 on that fastball. How important is that? Is that a barometer that you look for with him?
I do, and I think, listen, we're not talking about a guy that throws, you know, 95-ish, right? This is what he throws, and this is what he did with the Orioles, and, you know, they signed him as a guy that was, you know, what they thought would be a solid number 2. And that was it, behind Jose. And I know he had the elbow injury, but for me, Rich, looking at it, and I do go over, you know, different, you know, inside edge and the different stats that show, you know, where guys, what's the tendency, what's the trend. And, you know, I did, you know, I've seen the velocity. I mean, velocity, it's ticked off down the last couple years in a consistency level. Now, today we're seeing the velocity that he's thrown, you know, for the last 3 or 4 years at that 92 mark.
Runner goes, ball in the air. And with 1 out, Taylor did not retouch. I don't think he retouched second base. He is going to be out at first. Yes, no?
Well, he definitely did not. retouch second base.
And he is out.
Yeah.
He's out at first on the call. He didn't retouch at second either. So if the Marlins appeal, maybe they could get a fourth out.
Well, he's busted. He never looked in, so that's a straight steal.
And watch, never retouched.
You've got to retouch the bag once you touch it.
Yeah, Davey Lopes is probably explaining that to him right now. Still 1-0 Nationals. Last play for Michael Taylor, doubled up on the pop out off the bat of Rendon. Chris Johnson's going to lead it off against Tanner Roark.
You know, it's one of those plays where there's a responsibility everywhere. Straight steal, head down, pop up on an 0-1 pitch. Look at Miguel Rojas faking the double play ball. You hear everybody in the background yelling back. Nice job. The pitcher comes over. See Justin Bour looking around. Who made the call? Who made the call? Home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg.
Good rotation. You had the first base umpire following the ball towards the rail. You had the second base umpire with a play at second. So home plate umpire Jeff Kellogg had to get down the line to make that call.
Watch here, right here. Just look in the middle of the infield here, Miguel Rojas. Just watch Miguel. Don't look at anything else. Look at the fake right there. Now, when you have a straight steal, Michael Taylor, he doesn't know where the ball is. Obviously, he got doubled up. But he, for all he knew, that it was a ground ball to Dietrich. Nice job.
Johnson, Rendon. Nice play at third.
That's fun when you see that, the 9 positions. And, you know, even when you coach at any level, you tell every kid on the field, every single ball in play, believe it or not, you have a responsibility. There's some movement. Now, less movement. Of course, your left fielder, you know, he's not really in the play, but you never know. Ball gets thrown away, etc. The synchronicity of everybody having a responsibility. That's what's kind of cool about spring training, when you do like these crazy, bizarre plays and everybody's got to be somewhere to be just in case.
I always find it interesting, though, you know, some teams revisit that during the course of the season. And you're finding it more and more. Teams don't take infields as they used to, but there will be, like, maybe once a homestand, team gets out and works on pickoff plays and works on just what you were talking about. Little bounces out, Rendon gets the out.
And the excuse that I hear is that guys are tired. You know, they're giving them just the space. They play every day. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. You know, just to stay fresh. Just the 6 weeks of covering first and bunt plays and, outfield cutoff. I mean, it's every day. You do, an hour of bunt plays. And then here comes April 1st and you don't do any of that for 6 months? I don't get it. And what are you talking about? You're talking about a crisp, quick 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes.
Mathis takes a fastball for a strike.
We used to, Rich, and every manager they had. But I came up Billy Martin, Lou Piniella, and then I had Cito Gas in Toronto, and there was always the first day back from a road trip. That was kind of the MO. First day back from the road trip. They stopped doing it every single game. When I first got called up to the big leagues, it was right after BP. There was infield.
And was that a Billy Martin team?
That was Billy Martin. That was Lou Piniella. Of course, Lou was under Billy.
Right.
So that was that kind of transition. And then slowly, I think the everyday guys just said, hey, it's too much. That was paint pellet right there on the outside corner. Mathis did not like
Mathis caught looking. Tanner Roark's first 1, 2, 3 inning of the game.
I'm not doing Roosevelt because I'm still disappointed that they let him win one.
How about Taft? Taft is out in front to begin with.
Is there Jefferson in that? No?
Jefferson's coming up on the outside right now.
I'm taking Thomas Jefferson.
Taft is in the, he's struggling right now.
Somebody's going to get bumped off here because it's politics.
I think it looks a very Jeffersonian race. Jefferson a winner. Francoeur makes it.
Jefferson won.
Jefferson won. Tom was the winner.
There we go.
The finale. There you go. I'm not sure what Santa has to do with the race, but here's Defoe. Maybe now that we've hit October, it's okay to decorate, to bring the Christmas decorations out, and so they trotted Santa out.
I was actually listening to a radio show, and they were talking about how they were some of the people on there already bought their Christmas presents.
Really?
Really?
That is strike 3 called. Defoe says, hey. And Jeff Mathis says, that was a strike against me, so it's a strike against you.
Well, what's the common thing there right there? He gets ahead 0-2 count. Wilmer Defoe hit the glove. He just watch Mathis. I mean, this is beautiful. He's off the plate because he should be. You got an 0-2 count. You want your pitcher to expand, and he barely moved the glove. That's another good presentation.
So we talked about this from the outset of the telecast.
Yes.
Control versus command. This better command than you've seen in his other 2 starts?
100%. Yes. And really that's the MO for pitchers like Chen, and there's a lot. And that's no disrespect. I mean, a guy that sits right around 90-ish with a slider and a very occasional change. There's a changeup right there. Now that's the pitch, Rich. If you can open up the plate a little bit more, and now you have a guy thinking, oh gosh, he's got his changeup now. The fastball, he gets ahead. Curveball in the dirt. Slider, he took a little off of that previous pitch, and then he throws a changeup. Now where do you go? You elevate high fastball inside. He's going to go back foot slider right here. Right down the middle.
How about that? 1, 2, 3 for Roark, and then 1, 2, 3 for Chen. On Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Ram. Get power you can depend on at Ram Power Days. By Checkers, fast foodies know the deal. And by Coral Springs Auto Mall. All right, Wei-Yin Chen is back up. And that means a high time in the dugout for this at bat. Still looking for his first ever major league hit.
There it was right there, Rich. This is good. This is good for the guys right here.
Now, a lot of the players were screaming now to tell him when to swing. And you can hear the dugout.
They're happy that he fouls it off. It's like Little League.
Yes. Why not? Little dribbler out towards short. And Espinosa throws him out. That's sort of a moral victory for him right there.
Ground out?
Ground out.
No, come on. He doesn't strike out every at bat, does he?
No.
Let me see here.
But it's, positive. Check. He popped up to the pitchers last
42 at bats, 18 strikeouts. And no walks. I figured there was one guy that was wild, no?
No.
No.
Not that wild. Dietrich's had a tough time with Roark. He's popped out to the left side twice. And then Roark misses up. Of course, Tanner Roark, his last start against the Marlins was on the 20th of September. And he pitched well. But his opponent that day pitched what he told us later was the best game of his career, and that was Jose Fernandez. Fernandez, 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 12 strikeouts. even in listening yesterday to some of the Nationals talk in their memory of Jose, I think it was Daniel Murphy who said, you know, just watching what he did to us that last time that he pitched, he said the guy was just special. And Roark was the opponent that night. Gave up just a Giancarlo Stanton homer, and that's it.
Hits in that loss and 1-0 that you mentioned against Jose. 7 innings and 3 hits. The solo home run by Giancarlo. This guy's a good pitcher. You can see it. Once he gets in the groove, it's one of those guys you get him early because he's got 4 pitches and he'll use them in any count.
Struck him out. Dietrich was on his way to first.
That's a 2-seam comeback, but we'll take a look. I'm sure they'll get that Fox tracks on that. That's his pitch, that 2-seamer that'll come back. You watch here. You see the setup from Severino, and then it just comes back, just barely hitting the corner. Wow. Now see, I thought right here, you got a catcher in a 3-2 count. He's got to be on the plate. Pulled it back just a smidge, according to our Fox tracks.
I mean, that's Roark's pitch.
Yeah.
Rojas bloops it. That's the speed of Taylor, who runs it down and makes the catch. And Tanner Roark has retired now 7 straight. Of Miami Marlins baseball on deck. That's a great spot out in right field behind the scoreboard in right, where they have a Shake Shack, Blue Smoke Barbecue, and a variety of other eateries. So Al, if you get hungry, you are excused for an inning or two, as long as you bring something back for me.
Seriously? Schultz, is that true?
There's your Blue Smoke Barbecue. Shake Shack just to the left of that. Big lines though at Shake Shack. Although we do have a fast pass like at Disney World. Yes. Danny Espinosa, pitcher spot. And Trey Turner.
Shake Shack was a phenomenon when they first came out, opened up in New York City.
Three and one.
Just missing there right now. That was a good close pitch to Danny Espinosa. Fastball count, good fastball hitter, mistake hitter. Espinosa has been. You see everything down in the zone.
Big swing. Bohr has it. Very nice. Justin Bohr from glove to chin to Blaylock. Just, I don't know how to score that in the book, but
that'd be 3-1.
To Blaylock.
What number you want?
We'll try and figure that out later. I'll take 8.
Right.
8 is my favorite number. So yeah, let's
3-1-8. Yelich is 8.
Hey, Chris Johnson in the lineup today. Not only that, but he's also celebrating his birthday. Now, CJ turning 32, so technically he's one of the older guys on the ball club, and a couple of younger players giving him a hard time earlier today, trying to make him feel like an old man in the clubhouse. But another fun thing for CJ, he gets to celebrate his birthday with his family. His wife Tia is here, their 9-month-old son Grayson. And Tia, how special is it to be able to be here today for your husband's birthday?
Awesome. It's been really fun. This is Grayson's first time celebrating Daddy's birthday, and we're going to be at the ballpark with him cheering. Can you clap hands? He says, no, I want this.
Yeah, he is very interested in this microphone right now. Any special plans for tonight?
We're just going to grab a sushi dinner, his favorite. So celebrate a little. I don't know if he's playing tomorrow or not, but maybe we'll have a cocktail.
Nice. And I love the shirt that Grayson's rocking right now. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says happy birthday, Dada. So that's got to definitely be a special moment for CJ to celebrate his birthday and to be able to celebrate it with his family. Guys.
Very nice. That's very cool.
I want it, please.
Oh, that's nice.
And he's got the microphone now. Big breaking ball from Chen, and Roark goes down swinging. This has to be pretty encouraging, certainly for Chen and for the Marlins, to pitch this well here today in what would be his last start in 2016. And Trey Turner now.
That's nice, a big curveball. You know, after he gives up in the first inning, gives up a run, and then that high pitch count kind of navigated through the bottom of the order and was able to get out of it. He settled down nicely last couple innings.
To left. Hood. And it's gone. Trey Turner continues to thrive in the big leagues. His 13th of the season.
Well, that was on cue, wasn't it?
In game number 72, Trey Turner has his 13th homer to go with 14 doubles and 8 triples. This is a guy who's known for his speed, who is slugging in the 560s right now. He could be the best shortstop the Padres traded away since Ozzie Smith.
Oh, Ozzie Smith, right. Ozzie for Gary Templeton. That's something when you look at, you know, trades and you wonder, you know, which side, who's getting what early on.
Rojas slugs up. Almost got him. That's a heck of a play by Rojas. It's going to be a hit for the speedy Taylor. But Miguel Rojas made that very, very close at first.
Yeah, strong throw. Right after it got by Chris Johnson, you see Miguel Rojas backing up the play, but just far enough, and really Taylor's speed, quick transfer. Nice job by Bohr scooping it. See here, 1, 2, 3 hops past Johnson. Close play at first.
Now Harper. RBI single in the first, struck out in the third. Then after a 4-strikeout night last night. And remember, the last time Taylor was at first, he was running and got caught, doubled up on the pop-up that was in foul territory. Runner goes out. Quick catch and tag by Rojas. Jeff Mathis on the money. And Michael Taylor is holding that left hand. That's not a good sign for the Nationals. The Nationals are holding their hand up. They want to see the replay, and we'll take our first look at it as well. Chris Spire, longtime shortstop in the big leagues. The bench coach, here's a look. Watch the left hand.
Yeah, they're going for the review.
Yeah, he looked like he had his hand in there.
This would be a good shot right here.
He's safe. Now the question is, what did he do to his left hand? That was a quick tag, but it looked like the hand was there.
Was it jam his wrist maybe? I mean, that's coming in hard.
That left thumb is what he was holding. The Nationals do challenge it. I think Dusty Baker. He's safe. It's only the second stolen base that Chen's given up this year.
Yeah, 14th stolen base, only been caught 3 times.
And it looks like he is going to stay in the game. Obviously, he's still out there. So that's good news for the Nationals as far as the injury. Meanwhile, Harper with a count 2-0. Brian Schneider on the phone. And Harper steps out. Dustin McGowan waiting.
This is where Chen right now, 3-1 count. Do not give in. I don't care if Bryce Harper's struggling or not, only a 244. Pitcher's pitch here. That's the pitch he got him out and swing and miss in his last at bat. That upstairs, fastball just swinging at it. He swung at a couple of them back in the 3rd inning. Go upstairs again. He's chasing, willing to get out of the strike zone, and just so unlike Bryce. He's been so good at taking his walks and pitches that are out of the zone, not swing.
By the way, Cardinals won that game. They beat Pittsburgh 4-3, and the Giants lead the Dodgers 1-0, bottom 7. Giants need a win to stay up ahead of the Cardinals by a game. Did it again. He went fastball, and again he strikes out Harper. And that finishes the Nationals in the 5th. Trey Turner, a solo homer, and it's 2-0. Due to limited availability, only Marlins Fish Family season ticket holders are guaranteed access to purchase All-Star Week ticket strips. Learn more, go to marlins.com/ASG. ...2018 coming to Washington, D.C.
Look at that.
Christian Yelich in this ball game is 0 for 1. He walked and bounced out to the right side on a nice play by Wilmer Defoe. And Tanner Roark ventures into the 6th, misses in. Giants have made it 3-0 in San Francisco over the Doyers.
So give that. Say that again. All right. So the Giants win.
Cardinals have won, right?
Okay. So they have 85. The other one went 86.
So Cardinals go to 86 and 76.
So it'll come down to tomorrow.
Giants are 85 and 75.
So Giants have to go for it tomorrow.
Giants have to go for it tomorrow.
Bumgarner pitched yesterday or the day before?
Bumgarner pitched yesterday. But it's 3-0. Giants over the Dodgers, bottom 7. If the Giants win that game, they're 86 and 75. They'll be a game ahead of the Cardinals.
Having to win tomorrow.
Having to win tomorrow to avoid a play-in wild card game. Is that what they would call it? The play-in wild card game? Wild card play-in game is the prop I've been told.
You want to see it, right?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, the more baseball we get to see, Al, the better. Oh, the Gecko, looming large in left field. He's a lefty swinger, right-hand thrower. And on this date in Marlins history, 97. Like the logo on that, very nice look. Moises Alou singled home Gary Sheffield in the bottom of the 9th to give the Marlins a win and a 2-0 lead in the National League Division Series. That's a moment that you remembered.
I used to have fantastic vision too. Now I got to wear these things. Look at this. Look at this sauce.
You folded it down to the Gecko size.
So it's interesting that you showed that, Sauce, because the manager in the Nationals dugout right now was very upset about that series. So
Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker, I asked.
So Dusty Baker, so they finally changed the division series. The Giants that year had the best record in baseball. We were a wild card team, and how they used to do it was at the first 2 games at the lesser seed, and then games 3, 4, 5 at the higher seed. So for travel purposes, right? And we sweep them in Florida at Dolphin Stadium, or pick your name, whatever it was. And then we flew out to San Francisco. Devon White hits like a grand slam, and we win in 3 games. That man right there, who I think is awesome, love Dusty Baker, was able to come over and congratulate him on the year that they've had this year. But Dusty just went off. How could this be? You're the home team. Doesn't make sense. And they switched it because of that. 1997
to 2-2-1.
Yep. Went to 2-2-1. And now they do the opposite. They go, 2-2-1. Right. They're back to 2-2-1. And it was just about travel. They just didn't want that extra travel day. And for whatever the statistics you're going to throw at me, Rich, home field, in my opinion, matter. I know for a while there they were showing stats. It didn't matter. I loved pitching on my home mound. I loved sleeping in my own bed. I loved driving to the park and saying hello to the same parking attendant, walking in, just the familiarity of it. And I think it's showing now with game 6 and 7s that it's clearly an advantage if it does get to 6 and 7.
I'll give you that. I don't have it. I really don't have statistics in my back pocket for that one. That's why we have researchers. We have an entire baseball research department. Bohr sitting on a 3-2. Miami trying to get on the scoreboard. And the changeup is pulled foul. Marlins have just the 2 hits. The Rojas single of the first and the Destin Hood single of the second. Yelich has walked twice. 4 walks total for Roark. Yelich runs, and Bohr hits a high fly ball to center field. Turner is there, and he makes the catch. Major League Baseball postseason, where all that matters is October. The NLDS starts October 7th on FS1. So the last game for the Nationals, the Dodgers, and the Cubs is on the 2nd, and the first game of their postseason, the 7th. Francoeur fouls another one back, and it's 0-2. The National League Division Series starts Friday, October 7th. That one fouls it back.
Which is why you'll see Max Scherzer toe the hill tomorrow, get the tune-up, if you will. I'm sure Dusty's not going to have him go too many pitches, although here you see they're probably their number 2 pitcher, Roark. There you see Max Scherzer. See how the Cy Young vote plays out.
The one division winner that's going to get a little bit of a tune-up if it holds. Here's a look at Scherzer. His record, 19-7, is Cleveland, because Cleveland is the team that Detroit has to play in that makeup game on Monday. Pitch is in.
Good take that right there from Trenchy after the high fastball changeup inside. You know, watching Tanner Roark, Rich, you see the ball clearly way inside. You know, for Dusty Baker to not to disregard pitch counts, but this guy had over 20 starts where he was over 100 pitches. 121 pitches was his high. Nasty curveball right there. But instead of just using it, and we're seeing it so often now, 100 pitch count, bells go off, relievers are throwing, and take your starter out. You know, not Dusty. And I can't say how much I love it, because there's a reason why you're a starter. You're one of the best pitchers certainly on your staff. The fact that Dusty's had Tanner Roark go to 121 in a start, 110, 115, 113. To me, it's refreshing to get why you are where you are based on good starting pitching.
Runner goes. Yelich, big jump, and he's in. Defoe falling over, tried to make the tag, and Yelich gets stolen base number 9.
Yeah, good pitch to run on too for Yelich. Big lead, big jump, just head down again, head down, not looking in. Obviously straight steal, 2 outs. Let's see a little snap throw right here from Defoe. He tags him up on the high hip. Good call from second base umpire Alan Porter.
The Nationals are actually reviewing this on video.
Boy, this reminds me of that St. Louis-Cincinnati game the other day when it ended on what should have been a ground rule double. Did you hear about the ruling? And I don't think it's correct.
Well,
anyway.
the Reds.
They said he had 10 seconds.
You have 10 seconds to hold the game.
Okay.
And then 30 seconds to decide if you want to review it. Brian Price of the Reds countered with they could not hear the dugout phone ringing because
they're going to the headset.
Now they are going to review it. They couldn't hear the dugout phone ringing because the crowd in St. Louis was going bananas. And Price's point was there should be a red light or something that tells us that that phone is ringing.
I thought tagging on the hip. Now this is where, you know, modern time with the instant replay, you tag up high. He's safe. Am I seeing something here, Rich?
Yeah, I don't think there's enough to overturn it.
And what I mean by the hip, you know, normally if the ball, you see the foot, yeah, I mean, it's close. I don't know if he dragged up his pant leg and got his.
I think the Nationals are going to lose their challenge here.
Definitely something for baseball to streamline, right? It's not compelling, you know, to have a manager sticking his hand up and watching this play out, and sometimes takes longer than others. I'm sure there's a way to streamline it.
Well, some have said, and it's pretty quick, he's safe. I guess if you're going to really gamble with a challenge, which Dusty Baker just did,
now he's out, right?
You want to do it near the 7th inning, because once you get to the 7th, the umpires can initiate a review, though they don't have to do it, even if you beg and plead and crawl out to home plate on your knees. Here's Johnson now with a 1-0 pitch. It's a strike.
So it was 1 minute and 17 seconds too long. That's how long the review was.
Well, that's how long the review was once they
30.
challenged it, right?
So we're looking at a minute.
Plus the 30 seconds it took them to review it to decide whether to challenge.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's 1 minute 47.
There's a liner into right field. Yelich around first. Up with the ball is Harper. His throw's coming home, and Yelich will score. Johnson's going to take second, and the ball gets all the way to the screen. And that's the importance of the stolen base.
And happy birthday, Chris Johnson.
That's right. A birthday RBI single.
There it is. I mean, you're exactly right, Rich. There's Chris's wife. There's a birthday boy. Oh, he missed big time. Tried to come in. Ended up being away. Nice hitting right there by Chris Johnson. Career-wise, he's hit Tanner Roark well. And then certainly on the horse, Yelich fast enough, making this game a 1-run game. All the way, right center, staying on it. Good piece of hitting.
So in the course of a couple minutes, Dusty Baker lost a challenge and he loses his pitcher. Roark is out. West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. Pitching changes per game. The Marlins in September are #1, and that's the coaches poll and the writers poll. And the Nationals are 5th. They've gone from 14 to 5. More pitchers, more pitching changes. Don Mattingly, Dusty Baker. Destin Hood with the at bat for Miami. And it's Blake Trinan. Of all the national relievers that we were expecting to see, I did not expect to see Trinan, who worked 2 innings yesterday. And he misses down low with a fastball.
Yeah, Trinan's got a super sinker. He's a ground ball guy. 95, 96.
36 pitches yesterday, and in there today. Actually, that was last night. But you can see he had almost the whole week to prepare for his 36 pitches yesterday. And Dusty's probably asking him just to get one hitter here with 2 outs in the 6th. Hood bangs one off his foot, and it's 2-1. Wade Chen watching. Chen has gone 5, given up 2. Hood fouls that one back. Hood has yet to walk in his big league career. He is 4 for 19 without a walk. Two.
Battling, fighting. Again, Trinan is a guy that'll just bore in on the right-handed hitters with that really good sinker, good 90s velocity. Staying there.
Another 2-2. Don Mattingly watching. You could see Severino pat his glove on the ground just before, Trinan delivered that pitch. And he put it where he wanted. But it's a 3-2 count.
Good at bat right here, fighting right here. Seen both pitches, the sinker slider.
Well, the sink on that, 95, and it just dropped to the ground. 2-1. D.C. with the Pets at the Park today. It's a 2-1 ball game. Washington on top. Both starting pitchers have left the ball game. Those French fries right behind him. I'm surprised that he's not after those. Oh. Everybody's been pretty well behaved for the Nationals version of Bark at the Park. First pitch breaking ball from Dustin McGowan. Miguel Rojas throws out Rendon. After Marlins Live postgame, little ACC college football. Marshall and Pittsburgh. So Marshall and Pitt.
Pitt, that's right. They're in the ACC.
Yes, they are.
And Syracuse,
Louisville,
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is not in the league in terms of standings. They are in the league in terms of scheduling.
Well, for others,
for football,
basketball,
they're in the league for everything else. But in football, it's just scheduling. It's not to compete for an ACC championship. Well, thundering herd in Pittsburgh today. Zimmerman. McGowan's fastball is a strike.
Good year. Done a good job for Marlins here. 54 games, 286. I know he's had some bumps in the road occasionally, like most pitchers do.
Busy day for Rojas. Nifty pickup and another 6-3. Defoe swings and misses. It's been a really nice year for McGowan. Dustin, who spent parts of last year with the Phillies. Long-time member of the Toronto Blue Jays. They missed 3 full seasons with injuries. And it looks like healthy. He's gotten it back together.
I've always liked Dustin McGowan. I mean, you talk about a guy with heavy sink. Yes, he's a 2-pitch pitcher. You mentioned about with Toronto, you know, they tried to see if he was starting, relieving, what would he be? Certainly found a home and a role in the bullpen. More than serviceable. Veteran guy. Nice slider there.
It's a lot of nice sliders to Wilmer Defoe. And a 1-2-3 inning for McGowan.
as he steps up. Dead even with George Sisler. And a ground ball back up the middle, and there it is. He's a new all-time hit king in Major League history, number 258. Oh my!
That was a great moment back in 2004. Our Coors timeless moment with George Sisler's family in attendance. Ichiro breaking the all-time record for hits in a season. And that was 258. That record stood for 84 years. And there he is, Ichiro. Good timing on that. Jeff Mathis leading off here in the 7th. Sean Kelly on the mound for the Nationals. Where were you in 2004, Al?
2004, I was with the Mets.
Still a Met?
Yes.
Okay.
250. What did he end up with?
262, I believe.
Amazing.
Did you have much interaction with Ichiro being a Met? Did you face him?
I remember one game Seattle came to New York, and I'm sure he got a couple hits. I don't remember. But I did face him. I faced him in Japan. Remember, I couldn't get him out. You know those all-star things
tours?
they do every other year?
Mathis drives it to left. And it's an out here in the 7th. Fan Fest in February. 2 days of player meet and greets, autograph sessions, interactive games, food, and more. You can also select your seat at the open house. For more information, go to marlins.com/fanfest. And here is Ichiro. See Ichiro against the Nationals this year. By the way, if you purchased a ticket for the Sunday game, which was canceled against the Braves, that was to be the celebration for Ichiro's 3,000th hit. And the special commemorative bats for those that purchased those special tickets, those 3,000 bats. Roller to first, and Ichiro is out. Some were selected the option to have him shipped to them. Others were able to pick it up over the course of a couple of days in the series against the Mets. But if you haven't picked up your bat and you have the ticket, you can pick it up at the Marlins team store. Or call the Marlins, and I'm sure you'll be able to arrange either that bat to be shipped to you or you to be able to pick it up at the team store. Dietrich's popped out twice and struck out.
It'll be interesting to see how the Marlins, what their decision is on Ichiro. Hall of Fame career. Unbelievable career, both Japan and here in the United States, Major League Baseball. He's got an option on his contract for next year. Or there is an option on his contract.
Fernando Rodney in Miami's bullpen. Well, I mean, both parties have to want another year. I think Ichiro does. I mean, he has said he wanted to play till he's 50. He's made no mention of, hey, this is the last weekend of my career, which I don't think any of us even thought. And I think the Marlins have really liked having him on the team the last 2 years. He adds versatility in the outfield. He can play all 3 outfield spots, and he still is a good defensive outfielder. And he has shown this year that he's been, when used strategically, he is a nice offensive piece.
He will be 43 in October, late October, October 22nd.
(3-2) to Dietrich. Jam shot. Severino gets the out. And right now the Nationals pen goes 1-2-3 in the 7th. First inning. Bryce Harper struggled last night, knocks this one into center field. Trey Turner comes across. Turner would play a key role in this home run because he hit it off of Wei-Yin Chen. 2-0 at this point. We move to further action in the 6th inning. Christian Yelich running. This play was reviewed, challenged by the Nationals, but lost. That meant Yelich stayed at second, but not for long. On his birthday, Chris Johnson drives home Yelich. And that's it. 2-1. Bottom 7. The Giants have defeated the Dodgers. That's a final. And you hear the crowd reacting to it. That means that the Nationals have clinched home field in the division series. So game 1 of that division series will be here in D.C. Fernando Rodney into the ball game. Pedro Severino, Danny Espinosa, and in the pitcher's spot for the Nats. There's the final. Giants, a 3-0 win. And that was a loss for Clayton Kershaw, who started that game.
Kershaw went, what, 7 innings, 3 runs?
Yep. Up the middle. Rojas on to first. Severino is out. We check in with Jessica Blaylock. Hi, Jess.
Well, yeah, guys, if there are dogs at the ballpark, you know I'm going to make my way over and hang out with them. This is the Nationals version of Bark at the Park. It's actually called Pups at the Park. And what's funny is the last time that we were here, they were having this event. That's because they hold it 6 times a year. It's become so popular that they have it 6 times a year. And I have to admit that since I've come over to this section, I'm hanging out with all the dogs, my scorecard has kind of fallen off just a little bit, but I don't think anybody could blame me because look at these dogs over here.
Very cute.
Very, very cute. Now, Jess, do they have, like in Marlins Park, do they have Scooby snacks and dog snacks that you can purchase for the pups?
They do. They're giving away snacks for free. They're actually offering dog walking services. They've got all of these little treats for the dogs and nice little giveaway bags for the owners as well. And that's something that the Marlins did when we had Bark at the Park earlier this year. They gave you a little Marlins flag to wrap around the neck of your dog and show your support for the home team.
Very nice. Do you notice a decided difference between Northeast corridor dogs and South Florida dogs?
South Florida dogs tend to have a little bit more attitude. I can speak from personal experience. We know that about Lemon. We know that she brings it whenever she comes to Bark at the Park. So a little bit more attitude for the South Florida dogs. The northern dogs are a little bit more laid back. I've noticed that.
Huh. Unscientific
completely unscientific
findings, but fascinating.
Kind of like their owners, Northeast, laid back.
Yeah. That sandwich is that's not what they're selling for dog treats. No, don't do it. Don't do it. That's not right, is it? That's not right. Unless she's giving him. And the dog is looking at it like, wait a minute here. Oh, so he gets a little bit of stuff. So he's getting some. It's worth. It looks like it's worth the wait for him.
And the 1-2 pitch.
Here's the 1-2. Runner goes, and it's pop foul. Nationals have 2 runs on 7 hits. And their in-game box score looks this way. Trey Turner at the top of the lineup with 2 hits and a homer. Michael Taylor has a couple hits. Heisey pinch hitting here. Espinosa's at first. And Rodney with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Rodney had last night one of the 5 relievers that Mattingly used in the win last night. A scoreless inning. 7th inning, 2 strikeouts.
So the Nationals know now that they will have home field in the division series. Picked off is Espinosa in a rundown. Dietrich and Bohr. Bohr with a tag. Espinosa is out.
Oh, what he's complaining about, I'm not sure there. He's yelling toward Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire. You say it's a balk? He just took off. I don't know whether Rodney just gave the delayed, often runners will just give a timing, the same cadence, especially relievers. Oh, they're complaining about the shoulders. When he comes set, his shoulders go up. Let's take a look here what Dusty's saying. Watch his shoulders. No. If that's what they're talking about. Come set, you can still get a breathe, take a breath. One of those. Let's see if he does it here without. See that little stop? He pauses and then comes back up. So long as a pitcher does the same thing, it's consistent, it's not a ball. So he kind of comes hands together, but then he comes set up high. So I don't know whether they thought soon as the hands come together, he's done. Watch here what Rodney does. He'll put his hands together. He'll take a breath right there. See his shoulders go up, and then he comes up.
Change up. Johnson across the diamond in time. Dustin McGowan had a scoreless 6. Fernando Rodney a scoreless 7. Tom Kohler going tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow's game starts at 3 Eastern. Every game in baseball, 3 Eastern. On the West Coast, noon starts. Miguel Rojas against Kelly stays in there. It's the second year that baseball has gone with the uniform start time for that last day.
Good idea, right? For postseason teams,
especially with all the wild card stuff that's going to come down tomorrow. Absolutely.
So the West Coast teams were probably getting ripped, right?
No, West Coast teams late. Start at noon.
No. I'm saying prior to this rule, everybody, no matter where you are, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern time.
Prior to this rule, everybody just started their regular time.
So whatever. Normally that'd be 1 o'clock.
And what would happen at some places is teams who thought they were going to be in it weren't in it. What this does is it forces everybody who has just a sniff of a chance, a mathematic chance, has their A team, everything on the line, and everything is going on at once. Rojas pops it out of play. I mean, just think of it. You know what? I mean, tomorrow we've already talked about the Cardinals and the Giants. There's a lot on the line. The Cardinals are going to be playing at home against Pittsburgh. Giants are going to be playing at home against the Dodgers. In the American League wild card, you've got Toronto and Baltimore. Baltimore's at 88 and 72. They're tied with the Yankees right now. 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Toronto plays Boston tonight. And Toronto's got 87 wins. And Detroit, 86 wins. They can get to 87. And remember, they've got a makeup game, if it counts, on Monday. Seattle is still hanging in there. Seattle's at 86 wins as well. So everybody starts at the same time tomorrow.
And I'll call it the Pittsburgh Pirate St. Louis Cardinal rule. Remember a couple years ago? Pirates, Clint Hurdle chose to use Garrett Cole. It was an earlier game. They ended up losing. Wainwright, if you remember, he was walking out to warm up. As soon as they found out they didn't have to win, Wainwright was pulled from the game. You know, didn't even start. I think it was a couple hours later.
That may have been an influence, but I think the other influence was that last night of 2011.
2011.
Where there were 3 games that came down to the wire at the same time. Rojas tosses the bat, and he's on his way down to first.
All inside. Just pounded the inside corner, just missing the strike zone.
And so the Marlins get their leadoff man aboard. That sends Dusty Baker right out to the mound. You've got Yelich, the lefty, who homered against a lefty yesterday. And Dusty Baker is still going to bring a lefty in here. And so Kelly leaves. And our friends at West Kendall Toyota are proud to present this call to the pen. On here right now. Moves from both dugouts. Jeffrey Perez awarded the Pinch a Penny Pool Patio and Spa Pinch Runner Award. He ends up at first, and Mark Zepchinski, pay attention to the R, enters for the Nationals. He gets Christian Yelich, who's walked twice and bounced out. Yelich blasting a home run last night. That was in the 7th inning. And that was against a lefty. 2 of his homers this year against lefties. And he's hit .284. There are the splits for Yelich.
Turned on a heater from Sean Barnett last night in the 7th inning.
And Jeffrey Perez at first trying to read this lefty's move. He's running. And he is out. Pedro Severino has been voted best catcher in the national system for the last couple of seasons. And he was on it there.
I think there was a slight hesitation by Perez, and that was right on the money. See, Espinosa didn't have to move his glove. Zepchinski, being a left-hander as a runner, you have to delay just a little to make sure he's going home. Right, look at this. His glove was right on the bag. Tried to do a swim move with his left arm. Easily out. It's a heck of a great arm strength there from Severino.
So Perez caught. Yelich with a 1-1 count. Zepchinski trying to get him to chase. The count now 2-2. So how about those Orioles? 3-3 with the Yankees, bottom 8. Everybody else in that race is pulling for the Yankees to give them some help and knock Baltimore back a game. That pitch is low and in. Good eye by Yelich. Especially Toronto. Toronto in Boston tonight. Toronto's at 87 wins. Baltimore is at 88 wins.
So close. Look at that. Gosh.
Detroit and Seattle at 86 wins. Of course, Detroit will have an extra game if they need it on Monday. Yelich pulls one foul.
It really did come down to that 2011 with the Tampa Bay Rays. Remember when
Rays, the Orioles had remember Robert Andino had the big hit to beat, was it Boston in Baltimore at Camden Yards?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And then the Rays with their amazing
comeback, right? For the Yankees were.
Longoria hit the homer to end it. Was it Dan Johnson who was the guy that hit the homer to tie it?
The moons aligned.
They did. And the Braves lost the game that night too. Had a big division lead, a wild card lead, and they lost a key game that night at the same time. 3-2. Yelich sprays a sharp grounder. Espinosa to first. Yelich beats it, and that should be a hit. It is. It's a base hit for Yelich. Good speed. Yelich 1 for 2. His average inching up. He's going to need a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a hot smash. He gets a breaking ball away. That one hop kind of ate up a little bit of Espinosa and tried to make a quick throw, but Yelich has got enough speed. See that as soon as he backed up into the left field, outfield grass area, right there, spin around, strong throw just up the line. I don't know if he'd have gotten him anyway, even if it was on the line. Base hit.
And now Yelich chase back. And you've got Zepchinski facing Justin Bour. Bour does not have a lot of at-bats against lefties this year. 28 to be exact. And he hit 250 with a couple of doubles. 7 for 28. He's never homered against a lefty in his career. Ball and a strike and an out in the 8th.
So Chimsky, your typical lefty specialist, comes in. He's got what I think makes him effective against left-handers. You've seen him coming in a lot on the left-handers. You get a left-handed pitcher, a specialist like Zepchinski, comes in and opens up the outside part of the plate with that breaking ball, slider, curveball. That pitch right there. But a successful left-handed pitcher who does not come in to not only stand up a left-hand hitter but to call strikes. Left-hand hitters will stay on that ball better than that. That's just a little frisbee side-by-side, left to right kind of break.
See if he doubles up on it here. Yelich at first. And this one much more of a downward plane, but still effective. He gets the strikeout. Now Bour, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, This is a breaking ball after the one upstairs. Another one. The slider, harder break, just expanding, tough. And again, the two break fastballs in to have Bohr think slightly heater in inner third opens up the outside part of the plate. That's a good pitch.
Dusty Baker with the extra large lineup card with all the, what did they suit up, 38 guys for this game? 38 players?
38.
That's amazing. 38. 13 more than games in the first 5 months of the season. Zipchinski knows his number is up. You can see Dusty making the double switch. Heisey exits. Goodwin's coming in. 2-1. West Kendall Toyota. Final, they all matter. Cardinals one better than the Pirates. Mets have clinched home fields in the wild card game. The Dodgers and Gigantes, the Giants shut out the Dodgers. So the Giants are a game ahead of the Cardinals. Giants have that #2 wild card spot if the regular season ended today, right now, right here, right now, after those 3 games. Washington and the Dodgers, that's locked in. Cleveland and Boston, that's locked. And then Texas has home fields. You got Blue Jays and Orioles, but remember the Tigers and Seattle are still in play.
How about this right here? Hello, Syndergaard against Bumgarner.
There you go.
Is that must see? Baseball fan.
That's going to be a nostalgic wild card game, right? You've got the Giants, who used to be in New York, and you've got the Mets, who replaced essentially the 2 teams that left.
Took their logo.
Yeah.
And why? Brought in the Dodger blue, royal blue.
There you go. So Melanson, who is the closer for the Nationals, comes in. And the fastball misses in. And it was Dan Johnson who hit that home run with 2 outs and 2 strikes to tie it in the 9th for the Rays in 2011. Game 1, 6-2. Evan Longoria won it in the 12th. Frank Court takes in. It's 2-0. Blake Trinan, Sean Kelly, Mark Zipchinski, and now Mark Melanson. Couple of hops. Rendon on the run, and he gets him. Francoeur is out. Marlins are finished. In the 8th, they leave a runner. It's still 2-1. A tune-up for Scherzer and Tom Kohler. Last start of the season, last game of the season, game 162. And that is as we noted, a 3 o'clock start, 2:30 for Marlins Live. This one's got a 2-1 score to it. Last show of the year for Marlins Live. We'll have postseason awards. Martin Prado will be managing tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk to Martin Prado. Get his thoughts on the game.
Sure, pre-game manager.
Pre-game show. He takes over the managerial duties, right? He has to meet the press.
He's got to do the scrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's all part of it.
Right. If you're manager for the day, you got to go through the whole thing, right?
Yes, you do.
How about Phelps last night? Came in, scoreless 8th, punch out the side.
How about Phelps this year? Look at that 2.31 ERA. And he's done it, as we've noted, in every role you can have as a pitcher, except mop-up man. He's not a mop-up man. But he's pitched in the middle of the pen. Started out kind of in that 6th, 7th inning slot. Pitched so well, he found himself in the 8th inning. Closed some games. And in the starting rotation looked good. And I think a guy that the Marlins will have a decision on in the offseason as to where they want him. Do they want him in the 7th, 8th? Do they want him in the rotation?
That's a good question. I mean, my gut tells me he's better served where he is. Obviously, where the Marlins go this winter, and who they pencil or target for starting rotation help.
Well, the good news is, I think Miami has a pretty good idea wherever they use Phelps, he's going to succeed because he's shown he can handle all of the roles. Here he walks Turner, who's a threat to run, to lead off the bottom of the 8th. This has been 5 innings of Wei-Yin Chen and an inning each of Dustin McGowan and Fernando Rodney. Brian Goodwin gets an at bat, his first.
Former first rounder for the Nationals back in 2011. He went to Miami-Dade Community College.
Ball and a strike. Wow. Yankees 7-3 over Baltimore. Bottom 8.
Well, that just messes up the old apple cart, doesn't it?
It does. Not good for Beltway baseball fans here. Brett Gardner with a 2-run double in the inning.
He dropped up, what, a
Austin Romine with a 2-run single. So Romine and Gardner driving in 4 runs. And it's into the top of the 9th now in New York. Orioles down 7-3. Phelps with Turner inching away from first. Not running. He's a delay steal. Mathis throw, and he got the bag. He didn't run initially, but once he got rolling, like a bolt, he got there.
You see the speed. Good runners. Watch here the delayed steal. He waits, and then as soon as it gets through the zone, you take advantage of a catcher picking his eye, seeing the swing, and then making the throw. It wasn't immediate go as soon as Phelps lifts his leg up.
I'll tell you what helps there is having a left-handed hitter. It helps Turner.
Swinging too.
And a real disadvantage for Mathis.
Not only in the way of the throw from a right-handed catcher, but swinging. Oh, that's that pitch.
Yeah, Phelps has got that same Roark type pitch, that the right hip fastball that comes back in.
I'll tell you what, that one right there, Rich, and more. So, I mean, you see, watch how much of this movement. It looks like it's at least, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches inside. That is a perfect pitch. I mean, that's a give-up pitch. That's exactly what that pitch is supposed to do. Coming from the right side as a right-handed pitcher, locks him up. He does that so well. An intentional walk here.
So instead of Harper, it'll be Rendon. And so Harper being walked. Rendon is 0 for 3. Harper has struck out twice, but he has an RBI single.
They put the double play on it. And I know, even so, you know Bryce Harper's been struggling of late. That's a no-brainer right there. For me.
Martin Prado gets the call as skipper tomorrow.
School's in session.
Yeah, it's going to be fun tomorrow.
I'm talking about right there. All those guys listening to Martin. Chance to learn a lot when you sit there for 3 hours every night. pick the brain of guys that have been there a little longer, done it, experienced more. Can learn a lot.
That just a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Rendon took it for a strike. One word of warning if you're out near second base. Harper is not being held, and he has a big lead. So if the Marlins are going to try to turn two, you better be quick.
Dietrich to get a little closer, keep Trey Turner from not getting a huge secondary lead. Keep him close as well. I want him getting a running start. Well, he's got two fastballs. He will throw the four-seam. He got that two-seam comeback. Two different breaking balls. I mean, he's really, he's got the repertoire of a starting pitcher. Making sure he's on the same page, of course.
Oh, and 1. Now he turned the dial up to 94.
Well, if you see Rendon swing there, you got the big hole, and I know that, you know, with the double play in order, you make a good point with Bryce Harper getting a big lead, but he's just looks like he's last couple swings look like he's trying to go to that 2-hole on the right side.
Missed away, and it's 1-2. Turner at second, Harper at first. Phelps with a 1-2 to Rendon, and he got him. Wow. David Phelps strikes out Anthony Rendon, and now here comes Zimmerman.
Oh, that's just good old Powder River hard country baseball right there. Just a heater upstairs. All those swings, if you look at Rendon, it was kind of a late swing going to the right side. Even elevated fastball. The effectiveness of pitching upstairs looks good. Guys can't lay off, especially if it's got plate coverage. This guy's a pitcher.
Zimmerman 0 for 3. Night falling in D.C. The lights of the Capitol building have sparked to life. This day turned out to be a lot better weather-wise than we were led to believe. 1-1 to Zimmerman.
Big cut right there. You see Ryan Zimmerman trying to go yard ball on a 1-0 fastball. Late movement, sneaky fast. I mean, David Phelps has got good enough velocity. We're seeing some 94, 95s. But it's really that late action, that last 10, 12 feet in front of home plate.
Bouncer to shorts. Jeffrey Perez is there, and he flips to second in time to get the outs. Nice work by David Phelps. 2-1 Nationals. Baseball. Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Ram, get power you can depend on at Ram Power Days. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. Nationals Park all lit up. Postseason game coming here on Friday. It'll be game 1 of the National League Division Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. FS1 will have that game for you. Miami down a run and down to their last 3 outs. Chris Johnson. And remember, Melanson came in to get that last out of the 8th.
What a pickup for the Nationals. Seeing Mark Melanson, the big trade at the trade deadline from the Pirates, solidify the back end. And this Nationals bullpen, no question about it, huge addition for the Nationals.
Coming up next, Marshall and Pittsburgh, ACC college football. It's following Marlins live on Fox Sports Florida. 7:30 kickoff. We'll get you there as fast as we can. Johnson can't check. It's 1-2. Two and 2. Juan Nieves, Tim Wallach, Don Mattingly. And that's strike 3 called. Johnson, a wicked breaking ball from Mark Melanson.
Tell you what, Melanson, he's primarily cutter, but that big curveball. Unconventional type closer, especially today when everybody's impressed with the guy throwing 100. That's not Mark Melanson. Cut fastballs, curveballs.
Destin Hood. Fastball opens the at bat. Hood's 1 for 3. Miami has just 4 hits to go with their 1 run. Hood hits a little pop-up down that right field line. Harper and Defoe, and it's Defoe who came the closest.
You got foul territory here at Nationals Park. There's a lot of room there. I'm not sure where Bryce Harper was. That was a long way for Wilmer Defoe to go.
Ball and a strike to Hood, who hasn't homered yet in his big league career. 4 for 20 as a major leaguer, 1 double. Rendon. And there's 2 down. In a crowd of 31,000. On their feet, Craig Minervini standing by, literally standing by. Carl Pavano in the bullpen. Jeff Mathis at the plate. You could see behind Mathis, Giancarlo Stanton is on deck. 2-2. Nationals have clinched home field with the Giants beating the Dodgers today 3-0. Home field in the first round. Mathis hits a ground ball up the middle. Espinosa throws him out, and the Nationals even the series a game apiece. Melanson saves it for Dusty Baker's ball club. Win number 94 for the National League East champs. 2-1 the final. Marlins Live with Craig Minervini, Carl Pavano, and Jessica Blaylock next.